everybody, Dr. G here. It's time to operate. Today we're going to dissect the solo from Horse with No Name by America. Let's have a look at the rhythm guitar part that Dewey is playing behind the lead. Remember, his guitar is tuned to that very unusual tuning that I showed you in my other Horse with No Name video. The first of the 4 chords is E minor 7 that he plays by putting one finger on the 2nd fret of the D string to give you this. For the 2nd chord, he puts a finger on the 2nd fret of the G, B, and E strings. And he wraps his thumb around to press on the 2nd fret of the lowest string to give you this. For the 2nd and 4th chords, Dewey sometimes uses his ring finger to cover these 3 strings with his middle finger on top of it. Sometimes he uses the index finger, and you can see this on the live videos. I'm going to play the chord like this. The D string is muted on the 2nd chord, but on some of the live recordings you can hear it ring out. The 3rd chord is another inversion of E minor 7. He puts his index finger on the 5th fret of the D string, ring finger on the 7th fret of the G string, and plays all the strings except the lowest string to give you this. The 4th and final chord is the same as the 2nd chord, but it sounds different because the bass is playing A on that 4th chord. Okay, let's look at that chord progression. I'll play it slowly. He does a lot of upward strumming on the offbeat. And now what about the speed of the record? All right, now let's look at the solo. It starts with Jerry Beckley playing the E string of a 12-string guitar. I'll play it once and then we'll dissect it. All right, let's dissect that a little bit. He hits an introductory E note, if you will, and after that, each note is plucked twice, and it either hammers onto the next note or slides up to the next note, like this. He then slides up to the 12th fret high E string, which is an E note, and plays triplets. And he starts the downward run. To do it at the speed of the record, you have to get used to shifting your hand quickly in between. During the downward run, a second guitar comes in the old days played by Dan Peake. It's a higher harmony to follow the part that Jerry Beckley is playing. He starts it on the 14th fret of the high E string. Remember, the lower one starts on D, which is the 10th fret of the high E string. I'm going to close with the guitar part that starts the song that has that very unusual tuning that I covered in an earlier video on Guitar Riffs Played Right. Let's look at that whole riff again slowly. Okay, let's dissect that. He starts with 2 downward strokes followed by an upward stroke that is muffled. The muffling occurs on the 2 and upstroke and the 4 and upstroke. And you could do the muffling either with your left hand, laying it down on the strings, the palm of your right hand, or both together. The second half of the riff, give it 2 sharp upward strums followed by a downward muffle like this. Then you end up lifting your index finger and you do an up, down, up pattern, and you make sure you hit the open D string like this. Okay, I'm going to close it out with this riff at about the speed of the record. Notice the 2 strong upward strokes in the second half of the riff. Okay everybody, Dr. G signing off for Guitar Riffs Played Right. I hope you enjoyed the dissection of the solo of A Horse with No Name by America. Please check out the America Live videos that I have listed in the description section.